Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy coffee time, whether it is actually true morning for you. Some of you, it is probably ridiculously early in the morning. And for some of you, it's perhaps a bit later. It might even be evening time for you. So thank you for joining in. As always, I'm a little stuck because for whatever reason, Lucy, Penny, and I think Maggie is here. But at any rate, two of the dogs are right here. One of them, Lucy, is behind my chair, so I actually can't scoot away. So if I feel like I'm eating the camera, it's because I don't want to roll over top of the $1 million dog, which is who is sleeping behind me. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. You know, we double checked our, over here, you can see it's 20 sleeps until Christmas. I don't even know how that could be possible. I feel like we had plenty of time, and now I feel like I'm running behind. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I did actually this weekend have some time to start wrapping presents. And so I have countless paper cuts all over my fingers, which, of course you always notice once you put on the hand sanitizer. But got to do some Christmas stuff over the weekend. Still had some clients and some showings and some work related activities and emails and things to do, but was able to start to make a dent in my closet, which was housing all of the presents, and now they are wrapped in bags and under the tree. So this is what I do. Now, I'm not going to say this is a tip, but I have found that this is what I end up having to do. So I get these giant gift bags. I usually get them at Walgreens because that's where they would sell them, although they probably have them at Walmart too, but I always seem to get them at Walgreens. They're giant bags. And I end up wrapping all the kids' gifts, and then I put them in those bags. Sometimes it's 2 bags full, but at any rate, it's easier than having a gazillion presents just kind of scattered and mismatched underneath the tree. I stick them in the bag. So we have all these big bags. So anyway, that's my little tip. That's how I keep it organized in my brain. Plus, when you're doing the last minute double checking, do I have everybody? Did that other gift come in? Did I wrap it? Did the numbers match up? Then I can just kind of pull their little bag. So there you go. There's the tip. Okay. So good morning. I am going to start off by saying hello to Greg. Greg and his beautiful wife we just did their new homeowner orientation. And I have to tell you, it seems like it has been forever and a day since we walked the particular home site they purchased with Lancy Homes out in Mineola. That's all I'm going to say. But it was a beautiful home site. And to see it, there's like a house on it now. And it is so beautiful. And we did the new homeowner orientation the other day. And I got a real kick out of the little gifts that they gave me. First of all, this is an adorable pillow, a Diet Coke, because they know me very well. But here's what's perfect. And Greg and Kathy, I didn't even mention this. This is actually perfect right here in my work chair is like a lumbar support. So that is absolutely amazing. So I can take lumbar support pillow off of my Christmas list because you gave me one. And look at this, guys. This is so cool. I love it. I've never seen this before, which by the way is a little embarrassing because apparently there is a Coke store at Disney Springs, which means that I really do need to get out a little bit more. But anyway, so here is my mug of the day. My wonderful Diet Coke mug resembles my Diet Coke can. So really, I won't be confused at all because it'll always be in my hand. So thank you for the sweet gift. I love it. Looking forward to our final walkthrough and our closing coming up later this week so that you guys can officially close on that home and make it your own. Okay, so a couple of things. So it was a really busy and exciting several days, including over the weekend. I also had a dear friend of mine, Darla. Let me make sure I can find the picture. There we go. Darla. So Miss Darla worked, she's, first of all, dear friend, first and foremost. Back when I had my dance studio in Virginia, she had her daughter, her one daughter, and then she was actually, I believe, pregnant with her second daughter as we were discussing. Again, this is a long, long time ago. Darla actually was a dancer herself, and so she ended up being not only one of my moms at the studio, but more importantly, she was one of my teachers, one of my assistants. And then she also is, more than anything now, absolutely a dear friend. Lots of memories together. And she is holding her adorable grandchild. Now, and by the way, she's got a lot of them now. I'm a little bit jealous of that. But she sent me a random text message saying, hey, I'm flying in today. I'm landing this evening. Any chance I can steal you for an hour to say, a quick hug and a hello? She is coming to see her daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter, Hartley with a T. Hartley, yes. Here in town, they are doing a little Disney vacay. And I said, well, of course. So Eric went and picked her up at the airport. And look at the adorable, adorable, adorable Hartley moon. I mean, oh my gosh, is she not absolutely precious? So super excited that she got to come in town. Now, just as an FYI, this background picture, see if I can go back to it. I don't know if you can see it. If you see the picture, you can see our pool and you see the 2 wine glasses. So this is what you call real, true. There you go. Thank you, honey. Real, true friends. So she came over. We're sitting out on the lanai looking at the pool, but neither of us wanted to have our picture taken. She'd been traveling all day. I'd been working all day. And that is the sign of a true friend where you're like, you know what? I don't have to put myself together because you're coming over and there's no judgment. Haven't seen each other in a long time. We sat there, had a glass of wine, and just enjoyed catching up. So lots of fun on that. And today is Darla's birthday. So not only did it kind of double as a trip to Disney to kind of, meet up with family, but it's also her birthday. And speaking of birthdays, I'm going to mention that this guy right over here, it's going to be his birthday on Wednesday.
We old.
We old. We old.
I said he old, not we old.
We old. I'm older than you. But anyway, so Eric's birthday is coming up on Wednesday. So I certainly don't want to forget that. So, all right. So good morning. So Eric is pointing some things out. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Yes, time. Yes. Okay. So Eric pointed this one, Rover Guide 1250, first time interacting. We really appreciate your videos. Your thoroughness and taste are perfect. Another transplanted Virginian. Woohoo! Spent a lot of time in Virginia Beach. Awesome. Well, then we should chat about that. I lived right off of Shore Drive in a community called Bay Lake Pines. Got to walk down the end of my street to Chesapeake Beach. It was, at the time, it was a private beach. Now I believe there are condos and things down there, which we used to call the sand dunes, to walk over them and through them to get to the bay. I'm sure our condos and complexes now. But yeah, that's where I'm from, Virginia Beach, right there off of Shore Drive. There used to be Bayville Farms Dairy Store. And now, last time I was there, I think it used to be a Taste Unlimited. There used to be a farm over there. And then there was a park, but anyway, that's kind of my neck of the woods, Rover guys. So let's chat sometime about the fun stuff of being Virginians that are transplanted here. And I'm sure you probably miss the seasons as well, right? Speaking of those seasons, it is the holiday season. And so we have a lot going on. We have a lot to catch you up on, and we have a lot of things we're going to talk about in our What's Brewing segment. All right, so let me go to, is there a question
I want to put that up.
Eric is over here.
Look at Jay.
That's Elizabeth Deering.
Oh, sorry, hold on. That's Elizabeth Deering. Where's Jay?
Oh, no.
There he is. There. He's watching us from line. That makes you laugh.
That's awesome. Well, hello, everybody. In line flight of passage. Very good. Excellent. Well, you enjoy that. Tell us how it was. That we didn't get to see that one, right? Or ride that one. Yeah, there was a couple we didn't get to see when our friendship was in town recently. So yay, well, thanks for watching. Tell all of the people in line hello. All right, guys, so let's get ourselves going. So I want to make sure I mention my first thing. So I mentioned I'm going to plug it again because I love it. My new coffee mug and Darla's birthday. And then we're going to get to What's Brewing because we have a lot to talk about today. We also, as a reminder, as always, if you have questions, an easier way for me to search them is if you can write capital Q : and then your question. That way, when I go through, I can search them. And by the way, Rover Guy, you are welcome for those videos. I didn't really reference that. I just got all excited about Virginia Beach. When we moved here, there's just a lot of things that I wish we had known to ask. There's a lot of things that I wish I had known were available. I just wish I had known more. I wish that when I was going through the emotional angst of we're moving the family. Where are we going? I don't know anyone. You do get excited about the new house, but there's just a lot of things that I wish I had known. So it really is kind of our mission to be as transparent with you, to share things with you, to give you as much information as possible. Obviously, hopefully you'll call us, anyone out there watching calls us to help assist them through the process. But I know that some people have already, they've already found their realtor, and that's totally fine. But we still hope that the information is helpful to you, and just share it along then. Let other people kind of join us. So, all right, let's talk about what is brewing then. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so these are our 3 topics for what's brewing today. So if you watched our Sunday drive yesterday, you got an absolute treat watching our kind of an impromptu interview with Kevin Venardos of Venardos Circus, which is a small traveling circus which is growing bigger every year, and super exciting. We're calling this basically Circus Week for us. So if you did not have a chance to watch yesterday's Sunday drive, please take some time to do that. We are very excited about where we live. And obviously, we know I live in the Horizon West area here in Winter Garden, but that's not the only place that I sell. Obviously, I work in all the other areas, but you have your own little nugget, your own little place that you call home. And we always talk about, like the Hallmark movie settings and things like that, and the quaint little towns. Well, that's what we have. I mean, it's new, so it doesn't have the history and all of that. Now, downtown Winter Garden does. Historic downtown Winter Garden does. But here in the Hamlin area, hold on, Eric. Gotta be. Here in the Hamlin area in Horizon West in Winter Garden, we have the absolute joy every year for the past, I think, 4 years of having Venardos Circus come and join us. They set up right outside by the Walmart. There's a giant lot out there. And anyway, so yesterday was a really, really, really wonderful kind of our interview with him. So if you haven't had a chance yet, if you were too busy yesterday, which by the way, I totally understand, then if you want some info on the circus, and honestly, meeting him, we see people on stage, we see them in their costumes, and we see them, presenting. But just to literally have him sit down in the car with us and just talk about how this started is absolutely a story worth watching. So I hope you take some time and do that, because let me tell you, that was a lot of fun. And then of course, the next part of it is the home for the holidays, or homes, plural, for the holidays. We talked about last week, make sure I put the right button. We've talked about, this year's Homes for the Holidays series. We've done them many different ways over the years. Last year we did the full disclosure of us building our home that we're in now. And this year we are going back to kind of a mixed match. We kind of asked you what you liked most and what you were looking forward to seeing. So we're doing a little bit of all of it. We're doing some furnished, decorated model home tours. We're doing some inventory homes, meaning quick move-ins or homes that are nearly completed that are still new construction. Obviously, we've got our live streams and our Sunday drives. And so we're going to also do a tour of our home here at Christmas, which we say that, and I'm like, I don't know how that is gonna happen, but we're gonna make it happen. Just you're gonna have to be non-judgmental. And you know what? I had a lot of peace today. I was scrolling through this morning when I first woke up, and there's a person that I follow on Instagram, and she cleans, and it inspires me because she cleans things. And she said, okay, this is like true story. This is my house. She's like, here's the loft of my house, and it's a pile of clothes. And she looked down at the landing on her stairs, and there's a laundry basket with some clothes and some toys laying there. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Like, we all can live that way, and we don't have to show as picture perfect, because I will tell you that it's not picture perfect, but I am happy to show you what we have done with the home thus far, to tell you some of the things that, that we might have done differently, some things that we did that worked, some things that we did that didn't work, and some projects still left to be completed, and so forth and so on. So anyway, so that's kind of our homes for the holidays part. But one of the things that we just aired, I'm not sure what day, Eric, was it Thursday? Friday. So we did our first of the 4 inventories, and here's going to be a little snippet. We're going to let this play for, it's like a minute and 15 seconds. This is the Discovery Tour. Eric loves these. I am a little nervous about these because candidly, the discovery tour means that I'm discovering it at the same time that I'm filming it. So my brain has to there's an extra piece of what's thrown into my brain in order to do the video. Because I'm not only walking and talking and describing and showing and sharing, but now I'm also discovering. So here's a little clip, and I will tell you, this is a fun one.
Okay, so now we're into the main hub of the holy mother of kitchens. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me come over here because I need to spend some time over here. All right, so over here, what I see, first of all, I see the larger baseboards, big, beautiful, dynamic baseboards here in the home, which is really nice. It's a beautiful upgrade. I see 4 recessed lights. I feel like the children's show. I see, but I do. I see 4 recessed lights. I see the center lighting fan light fixture. I see the flooring. Big, beautiful sliders that look like these open from the middle and will kind of cascade out this way with a nice covered lanai. 2 ceiling fans out on the lanai. It looks like you back up to the privacy wall. Nice sized backyard. Okay, let mama come over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so where to begin? It's everywhere and everything. Okay, all right, so the first thing I want to notice, let's talk about the island. I see that they have done an upgraded finish that wraps all the way around. So instead of having exposed just like drywall there with paint or even just a faux facade, that's what they've done here is they've given you, like they've trimmed this out. So it really is that finishing touch, a really nice thing. And by the way, that's an expensive sucker at the design center because I know because I've been there. So
yeah, so that was an inventory home. It's a beautiful home. You can see by the video that it wasn't 100% completely done. It will be done very, very, very quickly. But wow, that kitchen, I love the extended bank of cabinets in any kitchen. There are a few floor plans from a few builders that have that as an option. And I think it's absolutely an off-the-chart amazing thing to add to your kitchen if you can, whether you use it on a daily basis or whether it's just for additional storage or decor. I think it's a really smart, option to be able to at least provide to a buyer. But yeah, that was a fun one. And, that was the one I believe we were filming the model home. And while we were there, they actually said, hey, Amy, this one just came back on the market. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later when we do some real estate questions. We're going to talk about the new construction, things coming back on the market, what that means and what that means for you. But by the way, I have to go back. Laura, where was your comment? I have to find you, Laura. Where was she? Oh, no.
You can search Laura right there.
I guess I can search Laura. Hold on. Yes. Okay, hold on. So Laura, you are correct. That is who I follow, Amber Elise of Bubbles and Buckets. I do. I absolutely do. I think she is absolutely adorable. And I have actually purchased some of the things that she had, her e-cloths and some of the other items that she kind of uses and references, and of course links down in there. But yeah, I watched that one this morning. So watch it. You'll know exactly what I mean. She is absolutely adorable. I love her. So that's funny that you knew exactly who I was talking to, or talking about rather. Real quick, because it was very early on, Florida Man, you asked a question like very early and I haven't addressed it yet. And before we get lost in the shuffle, you asked, do I know what they're building at the new Hartzog Road between the Toll Brothers development at West Haven Innovation and Avalon Road? Looks commercial. My guess would be apartments. Yeah, actually, that's going to be my guess too. We don't actually know because if you check into the city or the county permitting, there really isn't anything there right now. But you'll notice that, is it Pros? Is that the right one? Pros apartments are like right there. And I don't know if it's an extension of that, but my guess too is that it would eventually be apartments. But at the moment, it's just a guess. I do not think it's going to be additional single family development as far as, single family homes go. Yes, sir?
And I asked people if they like discovery tours. They said yes.
Okay.
And someone else wanted to know where that house was.
Well, whoever asked about where that house was, let me know. Text me 407-848-8042. I'll give you all the info on that one. It's out in Claremont. Okay, so let me scroll back down. Okay, so we were at What's Brewing. I'm getting myself all crazy cuckoo. All right, so we did Venardos Circus. We talked about the homes for the holidays. And yeah, so this week we have the model home tour, which I'm really excited about. Johns Lake Landing is a community out in Claremont. The community is well established. In its beginning stages, it was David Weekley and MI Homes were both out there. If you recall, you could go back and look at the videos if you want. Those models are both sold and people live in them now. David Weekley had the Boulevard floor plan as their model, and MI Homes had the why am I going to blank on it? What is it, Eric?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
H.
No, it's the one we love, the big one story. Anyway, I'll remember it. But at any rate, MI Homes is out of there now. David Weekley has one final section of 72 home sites, and they're not all 72 available because some people already have bought homes, built them, and closed on them and live in them. Some of them are still just earth and you can build from dirt, and some of them are inventory homes that they already have kind of at various stages in the process, permitting and construction. And then there sometimes are those homes that fall through. So, but that's a nice little section. And so we're actually doing the model tour of the new model, because in that section called the Lookout at John's Lake Landing, I believe is correct, they actually introduced some new floor plans. So kudos to a builder who in the final phase of only 72 home sites is excited enough about what they do and where they're doing it to add some new floor plans, and not only floor plans, but aesthetics to the exterior elevations, which gives that 72 home site section a kind of its own little vibe. It's very cool. It'll have a different entrance as well, still all connected with John's Lake Landing. But there will be another entrance as well, just to kind of make it a little bit easier. So very good. Okay, and now are you ready? Because continuing on with our circus week, we have a really, really special treat. We got to interview Kevin Venardos, as we discussed, at the Venardos Circus. That is a traveling circus. Love the big top effect here, the little tent, the red and white striped tent that they have. But if we go to a little bit bigger scale, a little bit different vibe when it comes to the circus, then we're going to talk about Cirque du Soleil. So on that note, we're going to go and speak with our friend, but we also have him as a guest. So ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, and so now I am so excited that we are going to talk to not only an incredibly, amazingly talented human being, so talented in multiple arenas, but also I consider a dear, dear, dear friend. Eric considers a dear friend and a former college roommate. So welcome, Tim Smith from Cirque du Soleil. How are you, my sweet friend?
It's great to see you. I'm really great. You?
I am good. I have to tell you, I've been stressing about getting older because for some reason we all feel like it's only happening to us, and that all of the other people that we used to perform with or hang out with must somehow still be stuck in their 20s. And certainly they can't have pulled their back by literally putting their Thanksgiving dishes in the bottom cabinet, now could they? That happened to me. So tell me, how did we get from us in our 20s to you where you are now at Cirque? And obviously we see playbills behind you, so don't leave out that part.
Hi, kind. First of all, it's so great to see you. Thanks so much for asking me to sit down with you for a minute. I agree with you. I think that time of our lives was so special for us just individually. But I do think, industry-wise, I look back at what changes have happened and what was going on at that time, and I think it was incredibly special for the high quality of industry that was happening and in that part of the industry. So I can speak the same language as you. Not only was it great to meet each other at such a wonderful time of our lives, but also to have that type of exposure and foundation for work ethic and to harbor the talent that we had walking in. But we were all very young and needed that type of grounding and learning and at such a professional level. I wouldn't be where I am today without that experience either.
So tell us about Cirque du Soleil and how that became where you are with that big mouthful of a title that you have.
I applied online for a company called Cirque du Soleil approximately 13 years ago. Just was really applying for anything and everything to get more exposure. But this company called and was interested. It didn't happen right away. It took about an additional year. But there was a job called the artistic director, which I didn't know what that meant. and I wasn't sure what kind of entertainment that they produced because I had just really only done musical theater on Broadway. And they said, please, we'd love to hire you as an artistic director for Cirque du Soleil. I joined their touring division, and it smelled like the theater and it looked like the theater, but now I have acrobats and international, we have about 15 different countries represented on site every day and in any particular show. And the company is just so unique.
It is. It's absolutely a unique experience. It's not, it's unlike anything else. You're exactly right. It's such a smorgasbord of delight and talent and the artists, every single person. It's amazing. So the show you're working on, well, you said you're for a couple of shows. So what are those shows that we can kind of look for names if anyone's going to head out in your direction?
Please come and see us. We actually have 6 shows on the strip right now. We're kind of the quintessential experience when you come to Vegas. You got to see Cirque. But I manage directly The Beatles' Love by Cirque du Soleil, and then also Mystère, which is our flagship show that's celebrating 30 years next year. It's been on the strip for 30 years. It's our original classic. Cirque du Soleil. It's playing to sell out houses still. It's looking really, really great. And that's really the original kind of diamond, if you will, for the company, is to come and see Mystère in Las Vegas. People from all over the world have seen it several times. It's often many people's favorite. But those 2 shows are the ones that are under my belt at this point. It's interesting to go to work every day and to say, yeah, I ran away with the circus, and it's been treating me really well, and the environment is just as varied and crazy as you would expect.
We know we have a Cirque show at Disney Springs. So do you know a little bit about Drawn to Life? You want to tell us about that one?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Thanks so much for the pitch of it. But it's called Drawn to Life. We've had a relationship with Disney there in Orlando for many, many, many years. The show called La Nuba was an original conceived Cirque du Soleil show, very successful for probably close to 20 years. But Disney wanted to continue the relationship with Cirque du Soleil, but build a brand new show. And what's exciting about Drawn to Life is it's the ability of using all of Disney's IP. So where we built La Nuba, it is a classic Cirque du Soleil looking show, but Drawn to Life is conceived with all of the fantastical Disney images and Disney characters, as well as the beautiful, opulent, crazy style of Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
So it just opened last year when we came back from the pandemic. It was set to open right before the pandemic, and obviously when the entertainment industry in the world shut down, we waited, and then it just opened a year ago. So it's a brand new show, brand spanking new. It's doing really well. We're glad to continue the relationship with Disney. And also in that community of Orlando and Florida in general. I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's quite beautiful and a real unique experience because of the Disney partnership.
So what I'm hearing you say before we say goodbye is that you're going to come hang out with me and we're going to go see Drawn to Life together?
Not just a pretty face, Amy. Not just a pretty face. No, it'd be great. I'm due. My brother actually just moved to Florida a couple of years ago. I'm due a visit. And so it'd be great to see you, of course, and then we can go and check out a show.
Are always welcome here. And like, seriously, that we mean that. Well, you know that anyway, but from our heartfelt like invitation, anytime you want a day or a weekend getaway or a month's vacation, you come on down, because we would love to see you in person and hug you. And with that, I know that you are a very, very busy man. So the fact that you took any time in the middle of your day and performances to chat with us, we love you. But seriously, you have no idea how much we appreciate this. And guys, seriously, if you get to Las Vegas, you have to go check out the Cirque shows there. And of course, if you're here in Orlando visiting, you want to make sure you check out Drawn to Life too. Timur, I love you with all my heart. I can't wait to see you again.
Thanks, love. Love you too, Amy.
Bye. All right, that gets me every time, like, to think just so many years ago, we all were just these these young whippersnappers with various degrees of talents, and that we all kind of met together. And to see some of our friends go on to such heights is absolutely, it's just amazing. So thank you, Tim, again, for taking time out of your day to chat with us for a little bit. And again, that invitation is most sincere. Okay, so now that we have done some of that, let me go to some questions and see what else is going on. Rob, you asked, does he tour the country yet? And I think you were talking about the Venardos Circus. I honestly don't know how far out they go. I do know that they go all the way to Washington State. Okay, so yeah, they do. So look for that Venardos. Vernados. Did I spell it right? Venardos. Here, I'll put the little picture back up again. That's it. So take a little screenshot of that and look them up, and definitely find them and support them if they come to your town, because that's what they do. Again, go back, watch that Sunday drive so you really can get a sense of how community is what is most important to Venardos Circus. So if they do come near you, please, give them some of your time and attention for sure.
We're buying their loadout sandwiches.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, we are buying their whole crew sandwiches on their loadout day. Their last day here in the Hamlin area in Horizon West is December 11th. So on that day after their last show, we are providing them and their crew lunch or dinner, whatever it is. We're bringing them their sandwiches. So anyway, so that'll be fun. It'll be a nice way to say goodbye and send them off to their next city. You would ask where that home is located. That's the one. Text me. I'll give you all the details on it. But it's out in Claremont. And then Emma, since you mentioned it, what's happening at West Haven at Ovation. Honestly, I feel like it's just a repeat. I feel like it's just constantly one day I'm going to be able to say, you know what, everything is cleared, and magically overnight, all of the houses are built. We're just still kind of in the slow going snail pace. Unfortunately, there's progress being made, but it's just not significant enough to show. But we are going to, as always, head back out there again and, get you some more information and show that. All right. So, don't forget, if you have any questions, throw them in there. I honestly, Oh, wait, I'm going to go back to, because I'm just scrolling through real quick. Rover guy from Virginia, or Virginia transplant like me. I remember those days we were right across from Croatan. Oh my gosh. Surf there when there were no houses, just dunes. Oh yes, please do. Like seriously, please reach out. I love that. It's one of the things I am most excited about, doing what it is that I do, is being able to meet so many people that otherwise our paths may never have crossed. So many of you are friends that I feel like I have known for years and years, although we may have never actually met in person. So I love that. So please do, because it's really nice. Let's see. I'm just going to do a quick scrolling through. I don't know. We talked about discovery tours. Eric says you like them, so you would like some more discovery tours, I guess. That stresses me out a little bit. I think I told you. It's just because it adds one more element. I always say that walking and talking is, I don't think that it's some grand talent that I have. But I will tell you, when you throw another element in there, it's like my brain is constantly, I think it goes from my dance teacher and dancer mode, where I'm always thinking about the next piece of choreography and where it is that I need to be. And I can do that. I'm very comfortable in my skin. But then when you throw in that I don't know what I'm getting ready to see, it's a little bit more scary. Yes, sir. What are you doing?
Do
you want me to put?
Sure,
okay, hold on.
A little Lucy action.
All right. Eric wants me to show you this.
There she is.
Okay, very good.
Just
All
saying,
right.
there she is.
Uh-huh.
She's hanging out.
I see it. Up. There you go. Thank you.
Anyway.
Anyway. Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. So anyway, oops. I don't know what I've pushed here. Okay. Anyway, so we'll do some more discovery tours for you. All right. So let's go back to some of our other fun stuff. Don't forget, if you've got questions, let me know. I think I just scrolled through. I don't think I saw any. Yes, I see where you're talking. Yes, I will. I see what you're talking about, Tim. Yes, Tim. By the way, we didn't. There's there's other things about Tim that we'd love to share. He was in. Eric said 6. I think it must be 6 Broadway shows. Original cast recording. Used to watch him on the Macy's Day Parade. Absolutely amazing. He was on an episode of Cake Boss. Now that's a little fun and trivial. Cupcake Boss. What did I say? Cake Boss? Yeah. Cupcake Boss. My apologies. But anyway, Tim is absolutely incredibly talented. So it's really nice. We actually saw him. We went to Vegas a few years ago to go see one of my favorite musicians. And while we were there, of course, we met up with Tim and hung out by the pool and everything. It was a lot of fun. So Tim is an amazing person. So we're super, super glad that he was able to come in and join in. Okay, so Allie, Lucy is a brown bear disguised as a dog. I agree. And if that dog ever jumps up on you, it's like she knocks you over. So anyway, but seriously, I feel very confined right now because I cannot roll my wheels of my chair because she's laying right there. It's okay. You don't need to do it again, please. Okay. All right. So let me go to Zillow. All right. This is a special house for us today, guys. This is in Ferndale, Michigan for only $165,000. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 972 square feet. So it's not super large. They say that they built this house for fun. That kitchen actually was kind of nice. I liked kind of the finishes. This looks like they've done a platform. This is actually the bathroom. Remember, there is only 1 bathroom. So this is it. It is black and red. This is an outdoor little court that they have painted up for the Detroit Lions. Okay. But here is what we really wanted to share with you about this particular home. Let's do a quick look again. Everything looks fine. It looks normal. You've got some cabinets, counters. Looks like they've done a little stadium seating in this particular room for whatever reason. It's very nice. We've got the bathroom. Looks like it has some updated finish. Looks like it's got some granite, maybe even some quartz. Again, the backyard. But take a look at this.
It's the front door.
We're all like in silence right now. That is the front door. So the blue door with the doggy door in the bottom is the front door. You walk in and there are urinals. Yes. At the bar. So that is a bar. Those are urinals. Not only are they urinals plural, but there's even the step up for the little kid urinal down there at the other end. So I'm just a little bit confused. I mean, I know that we want to be efficient with our space and that spaces can have, multiple uses. I mean, of course, right? But that's literally at your front door. Now, as a person who's had 4 children, sometimes there is an emergency to get to the bathroom. Candidly, I understand that. Like, it's the first thing I do if I go into stores. I check out where are the bathrooms in case I need to go. However, I do not think that I would have a urinal literally in the hallway at the front door. I think that's absolutely hysterical. So, and that's real. Like, we didn't make that up. And, Eric didn't, he didn't Photoshop in urinals. But really, what are you thinking? And when you say that you built your house for fun, I don't really understand. I don't know. I'm just at a... Urinals are fun. Okay, I guess. I just think that would be rather disgusting, candidly. I mean, whatever. Anyway, that's just kind of gross. Anyway, so yeah, that's a fun one. So if you're looking out there in that area, that home is available. It could be a great find for you. You might want to do a little remodeling, or maybe not. Maybe you want to keep the urinals in their current location. It did only have 1 bathroom. Maybe they found that wasn't enough. I don't know. I really don't know. 972 square feet, 165,000. So for those of you that are looking, that could be an option for you. Okay, real quick, we're going to go to what I'm watching because I watched 2 things. 2 things. A lot of this, by the way, while I was wrapping Christmas presents. So again, I always, Sydney, it only benefits men. Yes, that only benefited the men. You're right. All right, here we go. Okay, so I got to watch 2 things over the past week. One of them was, I'm going to sneeze here in a minute. Oh, no. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. All right, I watched 2 things. One of them is the Netflix series, The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Again, sometimes I just stumble across things. My taste is very... I like kind of everything for the most part. There's some things that just don't kind of, I'll watch part of it and then I kind of turn it off. But this one, obviously, when there's a missing child, it's kind of a sad one, but I remember this very vividly, as do probably most of you when this happened. And watching that documentary, it was kind of, there's a lot of things that I didn't know happened. And it was definitely a sad one. That's kind of an emotional one. And as of to this day, they still have not found her. And the other one that I watched, I actually just watched 2 nights ago, and it is a movie, actually, so it's not a series. It's a movie called I Came By. And the reason it stopped me at first was because Hugh Bonneville is in it, and I loved him in Downton Abbey. So I kind of stopped it more for the name recognition than I did for the movie or the plot of the movie. But I will tell you, it was actually really good too. I don't like seeing Hugh Bonneville not be character-wise the nicest of people, but it was actually really good. I enjoyed it as much as you can enjoy a movie that doesn't have a, isn't super happy. But I promise next time it'll be more uplifting stuff. This just happens to be what I watched this past week. But if you've got some suggestions, as always, let me know. I tend to be a creature of habit. And so I just kind of scroll, and as soon as something has gone across my suggestion list enough times, finally I give in and I watch it. Anyway, okay, so do a quick check for any more questions, and then we are going to, it is 9:41. This is an early one. I don't think we have any more questions. Eric, do you have any more questions? Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things real quick before I let you go. I just rolled back. Lucy, I'm sorry, baby. Okay. Oopsie. So a couple of things, and this is just, things that people have asked over, whether they've been questions that we never quite got to, or whether it's just, things that people mention in their wish list and things like that for me. So a couple of them are communities. People are asking about communities with low or no HOAs. So an HOA, a homeowners association, a lot of people, depending on where you live around the country, may not have that. You may not have a lot of experience with an HOA. The first community I lived in back in Virginia Beach, there was no HOA. It was just this big neighborhood. Everybody, you could park what you wanted in your yard. Pardon me, Lucy, you all right there? She's pushing me around. She's shoving me back there. But as newer communities kind of come up, then, they kind of feel the need to at least have some way to properly maintain the common areas, entrances to communities, things like that. Obviously, somebody has to take control over that. So the HOAs. But now here in Florida, most of the communities that are newish, are going to have an HOA. And your perception of whether or not it's a low HOA is going to be dependent on what you think, right? Because you may come from somewhere where there is no HOA, and you might think that $50 a month is way too high. Or you might go, oh no, I'm used to an HOA that's like $500 a month. So for you to tell me it's only $150 is great. So, again, all we can do is give you the information, and then perceptually you'll have to internalize that and determine, whether or not that looks good or sounds good to you. And I will tell you again, with HOAs, every HOA originally is going to be covering your common area maintenance. That's really the main intent for it, originally speaking, is the common area maintenance, your entrances, green spaces, any parks or playgrounds or amenity centers, if you have those. There are some communities then that also within your HOA might also include maybe your internet, or it might include your water. I mean, who knows? There's a variation of things that it could potentially include, including lawn maintenance, whether or not they mow your yard and edge it and mulch it and all of that. So it's very hard to just generalize HOA. The reality is we would need to kind of hone in on the communities that have floor plans that you like, or the communities that are located in areas that you like, to make sure that where you live, to me, is more important than the HOA amount. But obviously that definitely is a factor on your monthly budget. So we definitely want to be respectful and considerate of that and include it. But to find a community with no HOA, that's going to be something that is very, very, very old and probably very far out in the outskirts of this particular area to find no HOA, because you're going to be talking far more rural areas where you may not even have a neighbor for quite a while. So it's a whole different kind of a concept. But I did want to touch on that because we get a lot of people that ask about, I'm looking for low or no HOA. Well, that's a great statement, but it's we're going to have to fine tune it to you individually to make sure that our first priority is to find you a home in an area that you want to be in, and then we can kind of discuss that. Eric just popped this up. Okay, so NYC Iron 13. What are your thoughts on Lancy Homes? I purchased in Ridgeview earlier this year. Just got back and went to check on the foundation concrete pour. So Well, you probably already know this if you've already kind of gone through this process. So Landsea Homes acquired Hanover Family Builders. So when you actually purchased in Ridgeview, you were purchasing the name, the brand, the floor plan, the design options, all of that from Hanover Family Builders. And since Landsea has now acquired it, I have had clients that originally contracted with Hanover that closed as Landsea, some that were Hanover all the way through, some that started as Landsea in a Hanover community and have closed. So, and I will tell you, I've had a great experience. You know, I was always worried. You always worry when a builder or a company kind of acquires another one, because I had such an emotional connection and a personal connection, candidly, to Hanover Family Builders, which was formerly Royal Oak Homes, which is who we built our very first home with here in Florida when we moved from Virginia. And knowing that company a little bit more in depth, like I do, because I was not only a homeowner, so I came at it from that perspective, but I also, had many, many experiences with them as the realtor helping my clients purchase. I've always had fantastic, honestly, fantastic experiences with them. And recently, we talked about, I don't know if you watched that particular episode, or if it's an episode, whatever, the one of these that we did. We talked a little bit about a situation with a client of mine and how there was a problem after, I don't know if it was after the storm or not, but it definitely created some issues and some challenges. There's some water intrusion from a storm. It was a total accident, and it wasn't a mistake in the quality of construction. It was literally it was one of those fluke things. Whether it was a fluke or not, it still affected my clients adversely. So we reached out to see what we could do. And I didn't give the name or anything because I didn't, at the time I was like, I want them to have an opportunity to do some service recovery and some customer service stroking, and to see kind of how they managed it. And I'm so happy to say they first of all, they felt really bad about it anyway. And they did everything they could to make my client happy. And that's exactly what they did. So basically your question, I've had fantastic experiences with them. And no matter when I say that, again, I ethically cannot steer you to or from any specific builder. All I can do is share with you my experiences. And I also say this, that you are always kind of at the mercy of the trades that you have, because the corporate company is going to be the one that has the final say so if we're asking for something, or if there's a problem and we need to escalate it to that level. But generally speaking, your drywall crew may be fantastic, very detail oriented, absolutely stellar, top of the line drywall crew. Or perhaps you have a newer drywall crew that isn't familiar with this area, floor plan, whatever, and maybe your drywall crew wasn't quite as top notch. But that doesn't matter. It's the company up above. The name of the builder is still going to be the one that ultimately, that we turn to. So again, we always are at the mercy of who your actual humans are that are swinging the hammers and pouring that. But I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful experience with them. I have had amazing experiences with them. So, and congratulations on that, because I know that's awesome. Okay. So Sydney, I know HOA, I've been hearing the CDD. What is that? So a CDD, not every community has these, by the way. And I think it's important to stress that, that it is basically it's paid in your taxes. Originally, when communities are built, sometimes the builders take out these bonds to get things going. And then that CDD is passed over to those homeowners within the community, and it is paid in your taxes. So you do not write a check every month to the CDD like you would your HOA. With a CDD, it is actually paid in your taxes. So, for example, let's say you were purchasing in the 55 plus community of Palms, Serenoa, which is a beautiful D.R. Horton community out in the Serenoa section of Claremont. They have both an HOA and a CDD fee. But if you add together the HOA and the CDD fee, it's no more expensive than any other 55 plus communities typical HOA. It's just that some things are going to be paid in your taxes. It sounds really complicated, but it's not. You still have to understand that is going to be charged to you. It is not typically a crazy amount. But it is something that people freak out a little bit, like, oh, it makes my taxes higher. Well, yes and no. It's not, you pay a little bit more in your taxes, but you're paying that as part of the CDD charge, or the fee rather. But it can be a little bit confusing. Maybe one day we'll dive a little bit deeper into that. Gary, you said Hanover Lancy has been very good about following up when issues appear. Yeah, so Gary is a client of mine, and Gary, as we mentioned before, and Gary, just because you mentioned it, I'm going to go ahead and mention. We had a client who, actually, it was the same situation. The delay that was happening because of the builder really put my clients kind of displaced for a period of time. And immediately after that show was over, Gary texted me and says, hey, they can stay at my house if they need to. Like, I'm happy to have them come be there for a period of time, for, a few weeks, if that's what it is. So, and honestly, that after I stopped crying, that really, sometimes there's things that kind of go, okay, this is why I do this. Because we really do have a Heart and Home Orlando family. And for someone to kind of go, you know what, I don't know who those people are, but they're Amy's clients. So if Amy knows them and I know them, we're all a family and we're going to help each other out. So, but yes, Gary, you also have a Hanover's, now Lancy home, and I will tell you, and I'm going to say this story very, very quickly, and then I am going to try to find some other questions and then scooch out of here, is that in the very beginning, when Royal Oak was still Royal Oak before they became Hanover, the president of the company had called me once and said, can I take you out to coffee? And I was a little nervous. I was very worried. I was like, have I done something wrong? Like, did I do a video and they didn't want me to do the video? Because this was, again, early on. And, but of course I went, because you don't say no to a big wig asking you to go out for coffee. And when we went, met at a Starbucks, had a quick coffee or tea. And I was so impressed, because the reason he wanted to meet, as my recollection, is he said, you are not only a homeowner, you have built and entrusted us to provide shelter for your family, and you've now been living in it, but you are also a realtor who does a lot with new construction, and you have experiences with all of these other builders. So how are we doing? How are we doing, comparatively speaking? Are we doing a good job? Are there things we need to improve on? And literally that moment, I was like, okay, you have won me over, because it was a genuine, actual care and concern for who they are and what they do for people. And that really meant a lot to me. And I share that story because I think that matters. Again, Lancy is a little bit different, but Hanover and Royal Oak is a multi-generational family-owned business. And, I'm not going to go into all of it because I don't know all of it. I know what I know, which is that I have always very much felt like, because they were family-based, much like my dance studio was family-based, that you take a little bit more pride in it because it is your name and it is your brand. And so I kind of felt that connection, and I felt the true sincerity of them caring about their product. So that was just a great example of that. All right. Let me see. There was one other, Susie Q, we're building with Lancy too. With Amy's help, we found them. Yes, you did. Super excited. I really am. I am just so stinking excited for all of you that are clients, either current or former or future. It's very exciting. All right. One other thing I want to mention before I let you get back to your Monday, which is where we are in the new construction. What things are going to be good opportunities for you? So we are now December, what is today? December 5th, right? Yes, December 5th. So December 5th. So we are at a point in a new construction community, unless you are a cash buyer and have the ability to close in 2 or 3 weeks, and unless they have a home that is 100% complete, we kind of have bridged that gap of being able to close on a home. However, if you are a cash buyer and they do have a home that can be completed and closed by the end of December, we have some serious opportunity and leverage, because that is something that as every day, as every hour ticks by, fewer and fewer people are going to be able to do that. So if you are, and by the way, I just had some clients that are cash buyers, Every builder wanted them. Like everybody was like, this would be great because they can close. But ultimately we found a home and they can close by the end of December, and we were able to get some great incentives on it. And speaking of incentives, builders typically, if you use their preferred lender, they do have some incentives that they offer, whether it's closing cost contributions or flex cash or this, that, or the other. They kind of did away with incentives back during the feeding frenzy because they didn't need to, candidly. They were flying off the shelves. As soon as they listed, it would be gone. So they really didn't need to give any incentives. They didn't need to play nice. Well, now we are kind of back to, especially the time of year that we are, because any of these builders that have a fiscal year that ends December 31st, they're looking to make some contracts. Even if they can't close them by the end of this fiscal year, they can have contracts in the books for 2023. That being said, they are increasing some incentives. So this is a really good, strong time for incentives with builders. Really, really nice. Currently, I've got some clients looking at one where there is a $20,000 price reduction on the home. Basically they can use that money how they need to. And there is still a $7,000 closing cost contribution. So that ultimately is a $27,000 incentive, which, by the way, far outweighs if you were to purchase resale and you were to ask for a $5,000 closing cost contribution, which you'd be hard pressed to get from a resale seller. But the builders are really coming in strong. So anyway, so it's a tangled web. It's a little bit of a roller coaster, but we are definitely at a good time for buyers right now. If you are looking at new construction, let me know and I will get you in touch with the right people. And if you're looking for resale, there are still some fantastic resale opportunities out there. Absolutely. And again, because of this, because we have the competition with the builders, we can really kind of plead our case with some leverage to get you a good deal in a resale home as well. So as always, don't forget to call me at 407-848-8042. If I did not get to your question, I think we got to all of them. But don't forget, think of those questions over the week, jot them down. So next week you can pop them in. And as always, guys, just please remember how much we do sincerely appreciate you guys joining with us and hanging out with us for a little cup of coffee every Monday morning. And I hope you enjoy your holiday season as well. Kind of keep tuning back in for all of our fun little videos that we've got scattered around over the next coming weeks. Other than that, you know the rules. So let me find my little thingy. Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, we really do love you guys. Have a wonderful day and happy house hunting. Bye, guys. Happy Monday.